Hello, my name is Jack Lope, and I'm an American cowboy. Cowboys have been the discussion of much debate, philosophy, and fantasy for well over 100 years, and they are today just as much as they were then. What a lot of people don't know is that there is one correct way to be an American cowboy, and I'm going to tell you what that is. Now, the first rule of being a cowboy is you have to be recognizable as a cowboy from up to 100 yards to a quarter-mile away. A cowboy has a uniform that he is legally obligated to wear every day, including Christmas and the 4th of July. This uniform is broken down into several component parts. Part 1 is your hat. Part 2 is your shirt. Part 3 is your blue jeans, which is separated from Part 2 by your belt and your belt buckle. Part 4 is your boots, and Part 4.5 is your spurs, which you don't necessarily wear every day, but you wear them when you're riding, otherwise people won't know that you're a cowboy. Now, I gotta get down for this part so you can see my head. The hat is one of the most important parts of being a cowboy because it's how people see you, even when you're driving your truck, or even when you're behind a ridge and only your head is sticking out, and they want to make sure that you are a cowboy and you're not just a person riding a horse. Now, there are a couple rules to wearing a cowboy hat that not everybody is aware of. Rule 1 is you gotta pick your shape. There's a lot of different shapes for a cowboy hat, both in the shape of the crown and in the shape of the brim. What shape they are says a lot about you and how you work and where you come from and what kind of a cowboy you are. Now, this one that I'm wearing right now is a black felt hat, except you wouldn't know that it was black because I've worn it so much and worked so hard while wearing it that it's covered in dust and sweat and bits of blood too, and some hair and some spines from a cactus that I fell into, and some oil from fixing my truck, and also some leather conditioner that I got on my hat by accident when I was cleaning my saddle. One of the most important parts of choosing a cowboy hat is choosing the right brim size. Brim sizes can range from a couple inches to several inches, and it's important that you choose the right one because the size of your brim corresponds directly to the size of your penis. So normally, I would wear my hat that has a 9.5-inch brim. However, I'm not wearing it today because I knew I would be filming this, and it gives my face too much shade and you can't see me. So instead I'm wearing my hat that is about 4.5 inches wide, which was given to me when I was 3 years old. Another rule about wearing a cowboy hat is you gotta have a hat band, which is this thing. You gotta have one because if you don't, it looks stupid. Now, a lot of hat bands will have a little buckle or a little something something on the side just so it looks interesting. And where you put that little something something is really important because it will tell people whether you own a penis or a vagina. The goal being that if somebody was sitting in a crane standing directly over you and all they could see was your hat, that they would know which genitalia you are in possession of. As you can see, I own a penis. That's why mine's on the right side. If it was on the left side, it would be wrong. Now that we've covered the hat, we can move on to the shirt. Now, a cowboy can only wear one type of shirt, no matter what time of year it is, or what the weather's doing. That shirt is a long sleeve, button-up collared shirt, like the one I'm wearing now. Let me make this clear. You can never roll the sleeves up on your shirt. It doesn't matter how hot it is, how uncomfortable you are, how much of a sweat patch you are gathering in your armpits, or your stomach, or your back, or wherever you sweat at. Those shirt sleeves better stay down and buttoned all the way through the day. Otherwise, people will know that you're just an imposter and not a real cowboy. Right now, where I'm at, it is 103 degrees, and there is very little cloud cover. But I don't care. I'm not gonna touch these fucking sleeves until I'm getting dressed for bed. Then I'm gonna unbutton them and take my shirt off and put on my other shirt that I wear for bedtime. The other rule about wearing a cowboy shirt is that it can never not be tucked into your pants. The only time you can untuck your shirt is at the end of a day when you've worked really hard and your white shirt is now brown from all the dust and all the sweat from you working so hard. Then you can untuck it a little bit just to get a little bit of breeze up around your back and into your navel. The other rule is that your top button must be done up at all times. The goal being that you make yourself hot so that you sweat more and you can prove that you're working harder than everybody else. Now we're on to the next part of the cowboy uniform, which is your belt and your belt buckle. It is the law that you wear a brown leather belt every day when you wake up until you fall asleep. If you fall asleep wearing your belt, all the better. It must be brown leather. It can be 2 different types of brown leather, but it cannot be black leather unless you want to get mistaken for a metrosexual. Now, when choosing a belt buckle, you must be sure that it medically corresponds with the size of each individual testicle. As you can see, mine does. You can win a belt buckle at a rodeo or at a rodeo, but you must make sure that you win it from a good event. If you win a belt buckle from a barrel race, you might as well throw it away, because that's the event for women, and I need to be able to visually display from my crotch that I am only capable of doing real cowboy events like roping and bronc riding. Now we can move on to your pants. As a cowboy, you must wear a pair of blue jeans every single day of the year. If you are ever seen wearing shorts, you will be executed. There are 2 brands of jeans for you to choose from when you start your cowboying career. And once you've chosen one of those brands, you stick to them until you die. Those 2 brands are Levi's and Wranglers. As you can see, at the age of 2.5, I chose Wranglers. And I will keep wearing Wranglers until the expiration of my mortal body. Next part is your boots, which are really important because they help you travel around America and letting people know that you're a cowboy. It is imperative that you get a pair of tall boots with a tall heel so that people can see you from further away. You only put your spurs on when you're about to ride your horse, which I'm gonna do when I'm done with this, so I'm okay. You gotta make sure you pick a pair that makes some noise. Maybe they got some jingle bobs on them, so the people can hear you coming. Just like how when a dump truck backs up, it makes some noise too. Now, I've brought out the last part of what you need to be a cowboy, which is a pair of extra pants that go on top of your ordinary pants, also known as chinks or chaps, depending on what kind. This here is a pair of chinks, and you can tell that because they're shorter. America does not have a racist history, and there is no racist background to the naming of this garment. Chaps are longer and they go all the way down to your ankles. Chinks stop at about your shins. Now, it's important to know that if you're about to saddle up for a ride to go out and get cows or whatever, when you're putting your chinks or your chaps on, you do it as slowly as you can. The goal being is to make everybody else who's coming on that ride with you be sitting on you, waiting for you to finish. This is just a way to prove to them that you care more about this job and that you're more of a cowboy than they are. Because one of the underlying principles of being a cowboy is being slow. Both in what you do, how you walk, and how you talk. So, I'll put those on kind of quick, but just know that I can take up to 11 and a half minutes to put them on if I so choose. You can see that these do not have an ass in them. Assless chaps are all chaps. So do with that what you will. So, for when you're a cowboy, you gotta get around places, and you gotta make sure you're walking correctly. Now, ordinary people, when they walk, they bend at the knees and move with their feet first. So their feet kind of stick out at the longest part of the walk. When you're a cowboy, you must do your utmost at all times to pretend that you were born without knee joints and you want to walk with your thighs first, like this. What this does is it makes you move slower so you can prove that you're more powerful than other people. And it also helps keep your legs splayed apart a little bit, just so you can let everybody else know that if it was up to you, you would be riding a horse right now. Because a cowboy only walks when there is no horse or truck available to transport him elsewhere. So, now we've got all of our component parts together for what it takes to be a cowboy. I would like to take this moment to point out that just because you do all of these things does not make you a cowboy. Cowboying is so much more than just how you talk and walk and dress. It's about what you do. It's about how you live your life. It's about how you say hello to other people. It's about how you kick your horse in the sides to chase after that lone calf, rope him and tie him down, and give him a vaccination, and then get him up again. Cowboying's about waking up in the morning, smell the cool breeze, and see the way the morning sun touches on the edge of the spines of a cactus that you fell into a couple weeks ago. It's about looking at all those pretty girls in town and knowing that any one of them might be seduced by your enormous penis and very, very slow way of talking into coming to live with you and take care of all your food and laundry while you go out and live the dream. I'm like, yeah, she can be a cowboy too, but she's got to also make sure that everybody gets fed first. Because as we know, you can be a woman and you can do all the things that a cowboy does. You can be better at them. Doesn't make you a cowboy.